The artist from the Museum of Modern Art What is Good Design exhibition I have chosen to explore is Eero Saarinen. Saarinen was born August 20, 1910 in Finland. Eero was part of an extremely gifted family and the second child of highly creative parents Eero and Louise Saarinen. His mother Louise was best known for being a textile artist, and his father Eero was a world-famous architect and the first president of the Cranbrook Academy of Art. He had an older sister named Lisa, and later in life she became a talented designer and interior decorator. Eero was brought up in a house where drawing and painting were taken very seriously, and the devotion to greatness was instilled at a very early age. In 1922, at the age of 12, Eero won first place in a matchstick design contest, and it was an indication as to what a remarkable career as an architect and furniture designer he would have. Eero's family left Finland in 1923 to migrate to America after Eero's father placed second in the Chicago Tribune Tower competition, and his talents became more and more in demand. Whilst living in Michigan, Eero's father was asked to design the buildings for the Cranbrook Academy of the Art campus in Detroit, a project that is said that the whole family worked on together, Eero as Eliel's teenage apprentice. After finishing high school, Eero went to study sculpture at the Académie de la Grande Chaumière in Paris and returned to America to complete his Bachelor of Architecture at Yale in New Haven. In 1936, Eero went to work for and alongside his father at Saarinen Associates. Also during this time, he started teaching at Cranbrook Academy of the Art, which is where he met and became great friends with Charles Eames. This friendship blossomed into a great creative partnership where both men would collaborate and push each other to create and experiment with different materials and furniture forms. Their teamwork produced many award-winning pieces and really cemented their names in the furniture design world. Another important connection Saarinen made from his days at Cranbrook was with Florence Knoll. Knoll had studied architecture under Eero's father at Cranbrook and went on to artistically collaborate with both Eero and Eliel. Florence and her husband Hans established a furniture design and manufacturing company called Knoll Associates in 1938, which is still in existence today and proudly has over 30 Knoll products in the permanent design collection of the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Whilst his time at Cranbrook was focused on furniture design, Saarinen also excelled in the architectural field, with many of his designs gaining worldwide fame. Saarinen was known as one of the most unorthodox and controversial designers of his time, as he was dedicated to pushing the established boundaries of modernism, what he called the measly ABCs. And this can be seen in his iconic architectural designs such as the Gateway Arch in St. Louis, the Washington Jules International Airport in Virginia, and the Trans World Airline Terminal at the JFK Airport in New York, just to name a few. The piece by Saarinen that was displayed at the Museum of Modern Art What is Good Design exhibition that I have chosen to discuss is the 1946 womb chair that was designed for and manufactured by Knoll Associates when his good friend and collaborator Florence Knoll came to him when she was looking for a new type of comfort in chair design. In order to be considered good design, a product must follow the principles of good design by Dieter Rams. The 10 principles are as follows. Good design is innovative, it makes a product useful, it is aesthetic, it makes a product understandable, it is unobtrusive, it is honest, it is long-lasting, it is thorough down to the last detail, it is environmentally friendly, and it is as little design as possible. I can confidently say that Saarinen's womb chair ticks all 10 boxes of principles of good design, but I will explore the 5 most important in regards to the womb chair in more detail. Good design is innovative. Just after World War II, the technical advances were at an all-time high, and Eero pushed his search for new advancements to a new level. Saarinen wanted to make the chair out of one piece of material that was flexible and had no compound corners. Although fiberglass was known, it had not been used for furniture design before. Eero, along with Florence Knoll, found a boat builder in New Jersey who was experimenting with fiberglass and resin, and they worked with him to develop a new manufacturing method for the chair. The final result was a fiberglass shell that was modestly padded, then upholstered, and sat on a polished chrome-plated steel frame. It was the first fiberglass chair to be mass-produced in America. Good design makes a product useful. I told Eero I was sick and tired of the one-dimensional lounge chair, long and narrow, Noel said. I want a chair I can sit in sideways or any other way I want to sit in it, something I can curl up in. Saarinen definitely rose to the challenge and was able to design a chair that completely satisfied the original criteria set by Noel. The chair was so comfortable it was dubbed the womb chair, originally named number 70, as it gave the person sitting in it the impression of being as safe and comfortable as in a mother's womb. It is not only functional as a chair, but also psychologically and aesthetically pleasing. Saarinen once explained the chair in the following way. The womb chair attempts to achieve psychological comfort by providing a great big cup-like shell into which you can curl up and pull up your legs. Good design is unintrusive. Although the womb chair is such an organic and unusual shape, especially for its time, it was designed with the relationship with its context in mind. Perhaps the most important thing I learned from my father was that in any design problem, one should seek the solution in terms of the next largest thing. Saarinen said in 1958. The streamlined subtle curves and the block colour of the chair leaves room for the owner to add their own personal touch to ensure the chair will balance any room, in any house, all over the world. A quote from his father that later became well known was, "Always design a thing by considering it in its next largest context. A chair in a room in a house in an environment in a city plan." AMcLean. Good design is long-lasting. The very fact I am talking about Eero's womb chair almost 70 years after it was created fulfills the purpose of good design. As mentioned before, the chair is a perfect balance of being interesting and timeless, and this could be identified even at the time of designing. Although the rooms and interior fashions may change, the womb chair looks beautiful and still serves its purpose throughout the decades. And finally, good design is thorough to the last detail. Saarinen was well known for being obsessed with revision and used his formal education in sculpture to help him build hundreds of small models and full-scale mock-ups to achieve the perfect curve or to find the right line and to attain the most pleasing of proportions. And he would do all of this and still seek the advice and thoughts of colleagues and students he mentored to ensure the final product was near perfection. Throughout the research process of this task, I was able to investigate a few artists before settling on Eero Saarinen. All of the artists, especially Eero, took great care and pride in all aspects of their design and almost always collaborated with other talented designers. I found this part really valuable for me as I generally work alone, especially before starting this diploma. But now I am surrounded by other extremely talented designers who are all eager to share their knowledge and give advice. All the artists were not focused on one area of design and seemed to have an interest in a few key areas, which encouraged growth and exploration in all mediums. I feel now I can better use my experience with drawing and painting, for example, and use it when creating different layouts in type or graphic design, and vice versa. Another part of the research I found really helpful in learning the design of Eero Saarinen was not to get too caught up in the detail of my early ideas and sketches. I learned it was okay to play and experiment, and this is often where some of your best ideas are born.